In the quiet hum of a server room, a single file transfer could change the world. That's where our story begins. A lone whistleblower, deep inside the corridors of power, has decided that enough is enough. They've risked everything to leak evidence of a clandestine government operation, one designed not just to influence, but to outright manipulate elections on a global scale. Suddenly, the very foundation of democracy is shaken. The public is in an uproar, and the nation teeters on the brink of chaos. Who can be trusted when the system itself is compromised? Enter a veteran political journalist, a man who has spent his career chasing whispers and connecting dots that no one else sees. He receives the encrypted files and begins to unravel a conspiracy far deeper and more dangerous than he could have ever imagined. The trail leads him from smoke-filled backrooms to the highest echelons of government, revealing a shocking alliance between respected officials and a shadowy organization that operates beyond the law. These aren't just rumors anymore. This is cold, hard proof. He finds names, bank transfers, and secret communications that paint a terrifying picture of a world where votes are not cast but controlled. But as he gets closer to the truth, the shadows begin to push back. His every move is watched. His sources disappear. He's no longer just a reporter, he's a target. This isn't just a story. It's a battle for survival. The forces he's up against are ruthless, and they've built an empire on secrecy. They will stop at nothing to protect their power, and that means silencing anyone who threatens to expose them. A car chase through city streets, a narrow escape from a seemingly accidental fire, a constant feeling of being hunted. This becomes his new reality. The clock is ticking. The next election is just around the corner, and it could be the final nail in the coffin of free will. The journalist knows that getting this information out is more important than his own life. He's caught in a deadly race against time, trying to piece together the explosive evidence while evading the sinister forces that want him dead. Can he outmaneuver the puppeteers who pull the strings of nations? Will he be able to publish his findings and reveal the hidden hands that control our elections before they silence him for good? The fate of democracy rests on his shoulders. He has the story that could save the world if he can live long enough to tell it. This is more than just political intrigue, it's a warning. A look at what happens when power goes unchecked, and the will of the people is seen as an obstacle to be removed. The whistleblower's courage has lit a fuse, and the journalist is carrying the flame. The explosion is coming. The question is, who will be left standing in the aftermath? The truth is a weapon, and in this high-stakes game of deceit and control, he's about to fire the shot heard round the world. The world is watching, waiting for the truth to finally come to light, no matter the cost. This intricate web of lies connects continents. The manipulation isn't confined to one country. It's a global syndicate. The journalist uncovers how this covert group has installed puppet leaders, destabilized economies, and manufactured crises to maintain their grip. They don't just rig polls. They create the reality that the polls reflect. They are the architects of chaos, and their blueprint is what he now holds. He realizes that this isn't just about his nation's election. It's about the sovereignty of every nation. He must find allies, but who can he trust? Old friends in the intelligence community turn their backs, either out of fear or because they're part of the conspiracy. He's forced to rely on a small underground network of hackers and activists who believe in his cause. Together, they form an unlikely team, fighting a digital and physical war against an invisible enemy. They work from hidden locations, using layers of encryption to communicate, always one step ahead of being discovered. Each piece of decrypted data brings them closer to the full picture, but also closer to danger. The pressure mounts as the election day looms. The shadowy organization intensifies its efforts, launching a massive disinformation campaign to discredit the journalist before his story can even break. They label him a traitor, a conspiracy theorist, a purveyor of fake news. His reputation is systematically destroyed in the court of public opinion. He sees his own face on the news portrayed as a threat to national security. He is completely isolated, a man without a country, a man without a name, armed only with the truth. In a final, desperate move, he decides to bypass the traditional media channels he once championed. They're too compromised, too slow. The only way to ensure the truth reaches the public is to broadcast it directly, to everyone, all at once. It's a high-risk gambit. If he succeeds, he could spark a revolution. If he fails, he and everyone who helped him will be erased, and the world may never know how close it came to losing its freedom. The stage is set for a final confrontation, not of bullets and bombs, but of information and belief. As he prepares to go live, he thinks about the whistleblower who started it all. He thinks about the risks they took, the faith they placed in him. He can't let them down. He can't let the world down. With the enemy closing in, he takes a deep breath, looks into the camera, and begins to speak. The first words of his expose are more powerful than any weapon because they carry the weight of truth. My name is... and I have something to tell you. The broadcast goes out and the world holds its breath. The fight for the future has just begun. The fallout is immediate and seismic. Governments are in turmoil and the public demands answers. The journalist, now in hiding, watches as the seeds of truth he planted begin to sprout. Protests erupt in cities across the globe. The shadowy figures he exposed start to turn on each other, their once unbreakable alliance crumbling under the weight of public scrutiny. The narrative they so carefully controlled has been shattered into a million pieces. But the fight is far from over. The organization, though wounded, is still powerful. They launch a counter-offensive, using their deep state assets to hunt the journalist and his allies. The digital battleground escalates, with cyber attacks and information warfare reaching unprecedented levels. The journalist must stay on the move, continuing to leak more evidence to keep the pressure on, to ensure the momentum isn't lost. He has become a symbol of resistance, a ghost in the machine fighting for transparency. His story inspires others to come forward. More whistleblowers emerge from different agencies, adding their voices and their evidence to the growing fire. A movement is born, a global call for a new era of accountability. People are no longer willing to be passive spectators in their own democracies. They are taking to the streets, demanding reforms, and holding their leaders' feet to the fire. The election that was meant to be the syndicate's crowning achievement becomes their biggest nightmare. In the end, it's not just about one man against the system. It's about the power of a single act of courage to inspire millions. It's about the idea that no matter how dark things get, no matter how powerful the forces of control may seem, the truth, when brought into the light, has a power all its own. The journalist may never be able to live a normal life again, but he has given the world something far more valuable: a fighting chance. The question is no longer whether we can win, but what we are willing to do to protect our freedom. The future is unwritten, and for the first time in a long time, the people are holding the pen.